SQL interview questions and answers 151 to 160. Question number 151. Write SQL query to display the current date. To display the current date in SQL, you can use the current underscore date function, which is supported by most database systems including Firebird, DB2, MySQL, MongoDB, Oracle, PostgreSQL, and SQLite. However, note that Oracle's current underscore date function returns both date and time values. To get only the data, you can use the trunc function to truncate the time part. For SQL Server, you can use the getDate or current underscore time stamp function to get the current date and time. You can also format the result using convert function, which takes three arguments: data type, value, and format. To get only the current date, you can use convert function with the style code 112 like this. SQL code. This is SQL code. Select convert date, comma get date function, comma 112. This will return the current date in the YYYMMDD format. For MySQL, you can use current underscore date or cur date CURDAT function to get the current date. Both functions return the date as a string in the YYYMMDD format. Here is an example query to display the current date in MySQL. Select current date or select cur date. Both of these queries will return the current date in YYYMMDD format. Question number 152. Write an SQL query to check whether date passed to query is the date of given format or not. To check whether the date passed to an SQL query is of a given format or not, there are few options available in SQL. One is to use the isDate function, which checks whether the passed value is a date or not of a specified format, returning 1 or 1 for true or 0 for false accordingly. Another option is to use the to underscore date function or try underscore convert functions to validate if the passed value is in a given format. Here is an example of SQL query using isDate function to check if a passed date value is of format YYYMMDD. So this is the this is code select isDate, and there is a date given in a single comma as is valid date. This will return 1 if date is of a correct format and 0 false if it is not. To check for a different format, simply pass the desired date format in argument to isDate. For example, to check for format DDMMYY, code select isDate as is valid date. Question number 153. Write an SQL query to print the name of the distinct employee whose date of birth is between 01/01/1960 to 31/12/1975. To print the name of distinct employee whose date of birth is between a given range, we can use the select distinct statement with a where clause specifying the range of DOB. Here is an example query. SQL code. Select distinct name from employees where date of birth between 1960/01/01 and 1975/12/31. In this query, we assume that the employee date of birth DOB is stored as a date type column in employee table. The between operator is used to specify the range of DOB, and the distinct keyword ensures that only distinct employee names are returned. Note that the date format used in the query is YYYMMDD. Question number 154. Write an SQL query, find number of employee according to gender whose date of birth is between 1/1/1960 to 31/12/1975. To find the number of employees according to gender whose date of birth is between a given range, we can use the following SQL query. Select count all, sex from employees where date of birth between 1960 to 1975. Group by sex. This query uses the count function to count the number of employees for each gender, and the group by clause to group the result by gender. The where clause is used to specify the date of birth range. Question number 155. Write an SQL query to find an employee whose salary is equal or greater than 0000. To find an employee whose salary is equal to or greater than a specific number, we can use the following SQL query. This is SQL query. Select emp underscore name from employee where emp underscore salary is greater than equal to 000. Replace 00 specific number you want to use as a threshold for employee's salary. If you want to use another threshold like some employee's salary is greater than 10,000, then you can write 10,000 in place of 4 zeros. For example, if you want to find an employee names whose salary is greater than or equal to 1 lakh, you would use select emp underscore name from employee where employee salary is greater than or equal to 1 lakhs. This will return a list of employee names whose salary is greater than or equal to 1 lakh. Further example. Question number 156. Write an SQL query to find name of employee whose name start with M. To find the name of an employee whose name start with M, we can use a like operator with a wildcard character percent to match any number of characters that follow the letter M. Here is an example of SQL query. Select employee underscore name from employees where employees name like in single quotes m percent put percent sign after that to match any character after M. This query will select the names of all employees whose name start with the letter M. For example, if we have employees named Mark, Megan and Max, this query will return their names. Note that the exact syntax of this query may vary depending on specific database management system being used. The query shown above is a standard SQL query that should work in most systems. If you are using a specific system like Microsoft SQL or MySQL, there may be some difference in exact syntax or function names used. In case you need to search for a specific letter or letters at beginning of name, you can modify the query accordingly. For example, to search for employee name that start with MA, you would use SQL code. Select employee name from employees where employee name like MA percent. As if you need to search for names that start with a different letter, simply replace the M in query with the desired letter. Question number 157. Find all employee records containing the word Joe, regardless of whether it was stored as Joe in capital letters, all capitals, or Joe in standard title or Joe all small. Answer. To find all employee record containing the word Joe, regardless of its case sensitivity, we can use the SQL query. Select all from employees where upper emp name like upper Joe percent. This query will select all columns from employee table where the emp name column containing the string Joe at the beginning, regardless of case sensitivity. The upper function is used to convert both the emp name column and the search string to uppercase so that search can be case insensitive. Question number 158. Write an SQL query to find the year from date. To find the year from a date in SQL query, you can use the exact function. The syntax for this function is as follows. Select extract, that is extract function. So select extract year from date underscore column as year column name from table name. Replace date column with the name of column that contains the date values and table name with the name of table that contains the data. Also replace year column name with the name that you want to give to column that will contain the year values. For example, if you have a table named sales with a column named sales date that contains date, you can write an SQL query to find the year from the date like this. This is select extract year from sales date as year from sales. This query will return a column named year that contains the year values extracted from the sales and date column. Alternatively, you can use the where clause with the between operator to filter dates by specific year. For example, to filter all rows where the year is 2013, you can use the following query: select all from sales where sales date between 2013 and 2013 December. This query will return all rows from sales table where the sales date column falls within the year 2013. You can also use a string function such as a left and right to extract the year from the date column. However, extract function is the recommended method for extracting date components in SQL. How can you create an empty table from an existing table? There are different ways to create an empty table from an existing table in SQL. Here are some options from the provided web search result. One way to create a script of existing table and modify it to create an empty table. For example, if you are using Enterprise Manager, you can right click the table and select copy to generate a create script. Then you can modify the script to remove any references to data and create an empty table with the same structure. Another way is to create table statement with as keyword followed by a select query that retrieves no data. This creates a new table with the same structure as the existing table but without any data. For example, the syntax would be like this: create table, new table, name as, select from original table name where 1 is equal to 2. Here new table name is the name of new empty table you want to create, and original table name is the name of the existing table you want to copy the structure from. The where clause ensures that no data is retrieved and thus an empty table is created. Another variation of this method is to use select statement that select no rows such as where 0 is equal to 1 instead of where 1 is equal to 2. This can also create an empty table with the same structure as the original table. How to fetch common records from two tables? To fetch common records from two tables in SQL, there are several approaches. One common way is to use the intersect operator. The intersect operator returns only the common records between two select statements or table. For example, the following query returns common records between table 1 and table 2. Select column 1, column 2 from table 1. Intersect select column 1, column 2 from table 2. Another approach to fetch common records is to use inner join. Inner join returns only the matching records between two tables based on common column. For example, the following query returns common records between table 1 and table 2 based on the column 1. Select table 1 dot column 1, table 1 dot column 2, table 2 dot column 3 from table 1. Inner join table 2 on table 1 dot column 1 is equal to table 2 dot column. Note that the column used in the select statement should be present in both tables and their data types and order should be same. Thanks.